Welcome to the Soft Vikings. A quest. A quest for a meaning, purpose, and loyalty. I'm John, the lost son.
I'm Eric, the tyrannical father. We changed our slogan from a quest for meaning, purpose, and love
To loyalty.
love to loyalty because we had a discussion. Love is such a big word or such a small word. I don't know word, but it's almost empty of meaning.
Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah,
It means too much.
it's watered out. It's used for everything.
Yeah, in English, it's
Yes,
quite used. Can use it for so many things.
yes.
And loyalty is at least in my for my own sake and for many men. I think what they look for is loyalty, not love.
Yes.
A lot of love and no loyalty. It's like I don't know.
Come on, that's
It's not really
not really.
not what you want, is it?
No, no,
Too much, It's like I love you so much, but I have no loyalty.
no. I have too many options, but I love you really,
Yeah,
really.
I really love you.
Yeah, I really love you.
There's no loyalty,
No.
and
So we go for loyalty.
so
That's more Viking.
for the Viking guys,
Yeah.
loyalty is key.
Loyalty and love is like okay.
You
this
can
is
love
a-
whoever you want as
Yeah.
long as you're loyal to me.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Who cares if you
Yes.
who you love?
No.
You can do that on your spare time.
Yes.
But when it matters, got to show up and
Yep.
be loyal.
Yeah.
So, um,
So we are working with trying to, explain for ourselves and for the listeners our personality as a building block to know ourselves.
indeed.
It's it gives some structure and it also gives some indications. We do believe that we all are set up with some sort of personality that follows us the whole life.
Hard to change.
Hard to change. But your personality can be challenged, or it can be violent, or it could be do all types of shit towards it or against it when you're little and cannot defend yourself really. So that's
Well, that's when you are, able to change it, shape it.
yeah, or suppress it, or whatever you have to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where most of your traumas are
That's
coming from. That's the main source. So that's something that's going to be interesting for you and me, and see how many traumas I have managed to, conflicted on you, or
yeah.
how much of your true personality have been like disapproved or tried to change,
Yeah, suppressed.
suppressed,
And
or rejected.
it's a good question. I
Yes.
think, hard to say. I should have taken this personality test when you were 3 years old. Then
That
hard,
doesn't
hard
matter.
to answer.
But that's the platform we stand on.
Yes.
That we think that we believe that you have some sort of a true self. That personality, true self. It's a lot of categories that's like overlapping, but not maybe complete the same. But this is a way in to that landscape. So we use that
Yeah.
method.
You're probably at least gonna be set as a personality quite young.
Yep.
But there's some years there where you're quite malleable in a way that you can be
Yeah,
shaped.
that's the big question. If it comes from the get go, if it's in your genes, right? So it's like, okay, this is the way you set it. This is your basic setup.
Sure, but like from a adaptational standpoint, if you just completely fixed, then you can't adapt to your environment. So
No. But it's not. It's like its tendencies. It's like
I agree.
preferences. It's like,
Probably going to be hard to suppress it completely.
yeah, I mean,
If you have
we
a-
talked about that the last episode about openness. If you're extremely low on openness, you don't manage to be the creative guy that come up with all the ideas.
No, 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 no.
So, but you have a free will, yeah, or that's another discussion if you really have a free will. But still, you can have, agency and
It's a fair point. It's easy. It's more feasible to suppress certain traits than to display them if you don't have them.
yep,
Like
in a way, yes.
you can
And this
suppress your disorder, like your high conscientiousness can be suppressed.
and this plays right into this value of equality, right? Because that's the big discussion nowadays. What does equality really means? I mean, we can understand it when it comes to money. It's measurable.
Mhm.
If everybody has a million, okay, then we're equal money-wise. But can we say that we're equal in our way to, or our emotions, or in our personality? Everybody should have the same personality. Is that something we're looking for? Or Stalin looked for that. He wanted to create the Soviet man,
The steel man.
the steel man.
I think it means steel.
Yeah, that everybody should have the basic same setup.
Well,
No-
then you
no
have
nonsense.
to suppress a lot in many people, I guess,
Yeah,
to get there.
I don't believe it's possible. It's like taking the human side of humanity out of the equation, and then it's just gonna collapse.
It didn't seem to work. At
I
least.
think that's very bad idea, and I think many modern ideas are at least those that comes with some morality, and that equality is a super good thing. You forget that the humans are not equal.
Mhm.
We don't have the same personalities. We don't have the same personality traits. We don't have the same the body size. We don't have the same sex. We don't have the same setup.
Exactly, and it's been it's more in my I think it's more been warped in the way that like we're equal in the way that we say everybody has human rights.
Yeah.
That's the equal part. We're all human, so
Yeah,
you have human rights.
Yeah,
That's equal.
okay. So human
then it
rights are
becomes like-
distributed to everybody. Okay.
Yeah, we can say that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
everybody got that,
I buy that.
or everybody is citizen.
Yes. So we can
But
say
beyond that, it
we
becomes
equal, because we have the same rights.
yeah.
We equal.
Or you're like yeah,
Equal in front of the state and in front of God.
and you are the smallest like component
Yes.
of society.
Yep.
Basically, you can't divide the person into two parts.
And we should be treated equally from the state and from
Yeah, this is where yeah.
God. But
You would
from
say
your,
equality is it then it kind of works as an idea until it becomes absurd and you say everything is equal, because then there is no you lose the ability to say, oh, you're older and you're younger, or
yeah, then
you're
it's
female, male, or
yeah.
whatever, becomes all the same. Then
That's new speak.
it's
If you say
Legoland suddenly.
everything is equal
Everything
because
fits together.
it's not, and it's never gonna be. And it's
It's
a very
Legoland. It's
it's a
fancy.
very it does a lot of harm because it twisted people's head and take them away from what they can do something with.
And then we come back to you can shape humans.
Because your right is to be equal, and if you're not equal, that is somebody else has to do something with it.
Exactly. And if you get told that enough when you're growing up as a young person, you believe it.
Yes.
Because that's how humans are made. We
Yep.
are.
We buy
we'll
into
buy into the story we're told when we are young.
yeah, and it sticks, and
it sticks.
if it really sticks hard, it like you're almost immune against reality.
Yeah,
And
sure.
that's a recipe for suffering, I guess, or more suffering than necessary.
The idea becomes your identity,
Yes.
and that's very hard to change.
So we believe that there is some personality from the start, or a true self, and we think
Yeah.
that if your parents or your surroundings are not seeing you as the person you are, and try to bend you or make you into something else, don't appreciate you, don't have room for you as you are, they put a lot of traumas into your life that you have to deal with. And that goes with almost everybody. We are more or less traumatized.
Yep. Yep.
And also society as a whole don't need, or they need certain,
Well,
personalities, meaning that people are abiding to the law and they work hard and they support and give in and make the society as a whole function.
yeah, there's a price for the socialization.
Yes.
To become a member of a society, you have to give up certain things.
Yeah, and that in itself is traumatizing, more or less. Because
More or less, yeah.
depends on your setup. And then I have a theory also. It's not my theory. I think it's just, I taking pieces and bits from some in the air. But from an evolutionary perspective, we were a tribe, right? For like, if you say that sapiens has been around for, say 300,000 years, right or wrong, the figure is not fixed, but you can argue for 300,000 years. And in maybe 290,000 of them, we've been hunter and gatherers in a tribe. And the maximum tribe, that's the Dunbar number. I think that's around 150 people, where everybody remembers and know everybody. But the tribe wasn't equal. I mean, everybody was okay. It was divided between men and women. I don't know, the rate. But I guess I don't know if it was 50-50. I guess you maybe could see you needed less men, more men. It depends on the situation, how hard it was to feed yourself, etc. But don't walk into that territory. But what I want to aim at is that if you see that, okay, you have a tribe, 150 persons, but they needed different skills and different personalities to cope, because the strength and the way the humans has moved forward is to cooperation. And then you can, when you cooperate, then you can also have specialization, because then you have a broader skill set. Because one guy can be very, trained, for instance, to be super good at throwing stones. Okay, then he grows a strong upper body. Maybe he has to be fast and have fast reaction. Then another guy could, be the guy that runs down the animal. He has like super endurances. So there is reasons why we are built differently and have differently physical setup, and that. I mean, I'm a sports person. You also. We talked about sports, and somebody are super fast, and somebody are super strong. Somebody has endurance. Somebody has extreme flexibility. It's like, of course, everything can be trained, but you cannot be Usain Bolt if you have the type of muscles I have, even if you are trained from 1 year.
Yeah, there's some physical requirements.
So there you have it. We are different, and we have a different setup, and that is so deep in us. It's in our genes. And maybe I guess it also goes to personalities and mentally, because you need different mentalities and different setups.
Sure, That's
Bec-
why we are involved as a tribe.
Yes.
You don't need to be the strongest.
No.
Or the fastest.
No.
If you're the smartest.
Yes.
You will do fine.
You will do very fine.
And
Or we-
not just
if
smartest, but maybe like the most loyal.
Yeah, the most empathic.
Mm-hmm. And those things are. It's like when we learn to throw a stone. You didn't need to be that strong. Just wait until the idiot turns his back to you and then you throw that stone. You win.
Yeah.
And that changed humans. The
Indeed.
ability to throw that stone.
Yes.
And then to talk about it.
So just to try to land this little rant, that we believe that we are different in many ways, and that's the beauty of being humans, and that's the growth and the possibilities, and of course, we have some limitations, not when it comes to learning yourself. I think that everybody can do.
Mm-hmm.
And also to live a full life, everybody can do. But if you're not aware of your basic setups and your limitations, you will run into some serious problems.
Yeah, fight your nature. It's hard.
Yes.
Hard to.
So we
to,
can
to
talk
beat
about
your nature.
which serious problems we have run into.
Yeah. Using
Or you, I guess.
me. You're excluded.
Yeah, I'm the tyrant. I don't run into problems.
No. So,
I create them and generate them and put them on others, but I don't run into them.
so to finish your little rant there is that the first human superpower was language.
Yes.
That we were able to speak together,
Yep.
communicate.
Yep.
Because that gave us the upper hand on any animal. We could plan.
Yes.
They can't really
No.
do that same. Let's meet in 2 days and
Planning.
bring you spear.
Yeah.
They can't.
And that brings us into conscientiousness.
Yeah. Doing our second superpower now, which is to be able to record our speech, either in a written form or now in a video form.
Yes, forever.
Or audio form, which is that's a superpower.
Yeah, I mean to write it down was really power, but now when it's recorded forever, then you start to get the problem.
But well, it's the same principle.
Yeah, but
it's recorded.
It's not distillated. It's like
well, that you can say, but then you can say you can edit. So I mean,
yeah, but you have that's the problem with all this social media and everything. But I guess that who wants to store it? It's a cost storing it, right? It requires energy, and whatever medium you store it at, it has some sort of expansion or a period when and then it goes out.
It's always been a cost how to store it. You can chisel it in the rock, and you have it. But that takes
because that's a concern these days. That whatever you say, if you say it on social media or like in a podcast or wherever, it will be there forever. But you have a storage problem because there's a storage cost.
There's going to be that. So, and not everything's going to be stored forever.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe, but who knows? But anyway, that's like
question
the big
energy.
problem, is it?
It's a problem if nothing can be forgotten. Because if nothing can be forgotten, then forgiveness is harder.
Why?
Well, because you will always read your old story with new glasses, and then you can get.
I still forgive.
Yeah, you can, of course. Then maybe it's.
If you know, then you can forgive. If you don't know,
yeah, that's true. That's so forgiveness actually is standing stronger because it's a real thing.
Know your sins.
Yes.
So
you know what you forgive.
Yeah, that's way better than
in a way
forgotten.
Yeah.
It's not to be forgiven.
Yeah, and then all the angry people, they can.
Well, then we'll see how bad it was.
Yes.
The long run.
Yes.
But of course, you're talking about to see whatever happened through the lens of the time it was done in, which is important. You can't
Yeah,
judge
I mean,
someone.
that was, I have a degree in history. That was the first thing we learned, that you have to try as much as possible.
Which is also impossible.
Yeah. It's not, but as much as possible
Uh-huh.
to read the history from the time when it's happening, and not
Indeed.
through the lenses of today. And
Exactly.
that goes very much when it comes to morality.
Yeah, anything.
Because this, I mean, you have like
Context.
Yeah, but because you have like facts like happening. This guy killed that guy, or this king lost that battle. But that is a descriptive side, so that's more easy. But when you come into why this happened,
then we do the same. Why would we bother to explain the obvious? We don't take the time.
No,
because we just figure out that other people know the obvious.
Yes.
And you have the Dan Carlin podcasts, and there is almost no description of how the battlefield looked in the ancient times. They just
because it was obvious.
It was obvious to everyone in their time
Yes.
how that went down. So nobody wrote it down.
So it's a lot of things that's hidden.
Exactly. They get hidden in their time because the assumptions are made and times are different. So now we can look back in horror and say, oh my God, what did they do? And then they looked at it as, this is what we do.
Yes.
It wasn't no horror. So let's get to the
Conscientiousness.
The
stats, conscientiousness. So that trait is very much about related to impulse control, I guess.
You could say that. Impulse control and
ability to stop yourself from, doing the fun stuff and are able to doing what has to be done, or to postpone the gratification, I guess, also is in that trait.
Yeah, you're very like it's about, but it's, I mean, it means many things too. You're probably less adaptable if you are high in conscientiousness. So,
Yeah.
Like in all these skills, there's pros and cons.
It's the power of the one-eyed person.
Yeah, this
That's
is
just looking at
focus.
the goal.
Yeah.
If you're really high on conscientiousness, that you maybe are. Yeah, if you're 100, you maybe have a diagnosis. You're like some sort of autism or something. It's like you only see one thing.
You're extremely focused on one thing,
and you're able to put everything else aside.
Yeah. In a way, it's like I kind of look at it. If you're really high end on things here or low, it becomes more like compulsion.
Yes.
There's no little choice left.
Yeah,
and 100 in conscientiousness, these things, they have to be like they're supposed to be. You have OCD almost. Like the cup got to be there.
And the theory around it says that high conscientiousness is a more modern thing because it's in the front lobe of
so as a development.
Yes, so it's so people that have it, they can really activate and suppress their more instinctual
sure, this is
drives to act.
This planning for tomorrow, which is a very human thing.
Yes.
To like, we're gonna do this, so in 5 years.
Yes. And I have this food and I don't eat everything because
even though I'm hungry.
Yes.
And it goes as far as in the modern sense of
Yes.
we have so much food that this trait becomes more important.
Yeah, because you don't have any natural limitations.
Exactly, the boundaries are gone, so you're just left with your willpower to not do it.
Yeah. So it has more value, or it's more important.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So, where do you fit in this landscape?
Well, the average
So-
is 55,
The average is
according to
55.
this piece of paper.
Yes,
55%
yes,
of that's the average person.
yes,
So that's fine.
yes.
I'm 54, so I'm on average.
You're under average.
Well, 54, 50.
Yes. And
So,
I'm 77%.
yeah, so you're above,
Very much.
still like in the middle range. I think it's we're neither high or low. And I think this is a trait where if you are scoring high and low, you have a little, the challenges becomes quite big.
Yeah,
Because
but I think there is a huge difference between me and you.
yeah. Of course,
And
you
I think
scoring
that's
higher.
I think that's a source of some of your traumas, because we humans are stupid, because we judge everybody based on ourselves, at least what we think is our good sides, or something we think is important. And I always thought it was important to work hard, and you don't get up in the morning and be disciplined, and put everything in, have some goals, achieve them, and be organized,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, doing the things you don't like, maybe. Sometimes.
yes, sometimes. And I don't think that, I don't know, that's more the moral side. If you value your own personality traits as highly or more morally, like you set yourself on a moral high ground and judge others that have a different way to move around. I think when I look at you even today, it's like you have such a different way of handle things,
Mm-hmm.
which I can see is part of your personality, and maybe something is part of the traumas you have. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could say something about that, or the difference between me and you, and the way I've been treating you in when it comes to this. That
Well,
is
do you have
relevant.
like an example? So makes it more easy to say. It was
Yeah,
such a broad
I'm
question.
trying to get you out on the ice here, and if
Yeah.
you feel that
I was just not knowing where to start.
no, it's so many episodes.
Such a big app. So yeah,
Yes,
I think
but take the most
there's
painful one. Start at the hardest.
uh, well, um, well, in a basic way, I think you rarely, like, even if I worked hard at something, you wouldn't say
It was hard enough.
it was hard enough or good work. So it was never good enough. So I couldn't never been high enough in conscientiousness for your taste.
Well, I don't know.
No,
No, maybe not.
I don't think so.
But maybe if you were above 77, I would be happy.
Maybe, but that's at least never. That's never been in a place I've experienced being, where you say now maybe you should
Take a rest.
take a rest. Don't stop working so hard.
No.
I don't think never that happened.
No.
Even when if I did, even if I did, but you didn't see it.
I remember when you were studying medicine, and that you were up to these heavy exams.
Yeah, that was hard work.
Yeah, then I was, really, wow, it's there.
Maybe you
Because I
said
saw-
that to others, but you never communicated that to me.
No,
That was
maybe
never
not.
delivered as a message.
Maybe not.
It was more the other way.
Yeah.
So that I think that's kind of some of the core of the issue between us, that is that you you might have the thought or the appreciation, but it doesn't get said directly,
Not
and through another
indirectly,
person
not indirectly either. You
doesn't really count.
didn't feel any.
But to hear someone said, like, oh,
No, I know that
father
doesn't
said
count.
it through your aunt.
But
or
one thing is words, but it's other things. It's like body language or some way to show that you appreciate.
Sure, but when the other side is expressed verbally, it becomes it weighs more. It takes up the space, I think, and like a young boy, you don't want to disappoint your father.
No.
It's a very hard impulse to.
Yeah, that's why a
please.
father can inflict so much damage.
Sure. So that's been probably a struggle I had, and I had to. I couldn't count on getting any praise, basically, because there was none.
No.
Or maybe there was a little, but the critique was much stronger.
And then you, I guess, start to distrust yourself as a consequence.
It does something with your
self-esteem.
It does something with your self-esteem, because it gets internalized, in some ways. So I mean, looking back, you can always speculate, but say I was the same person and I grew up in a traditional household with the mom and dad, more stable and supportive.
Yeah,
I could probably have done many other things in my life, because I got the abilities in many ways, but the self-esteem to do them sometimes is lacking, and then I developed other strategies to deal with life
and deal with pain. Yes,
and deal with trauma and pain, and we spoke about such things last time as well. That's you become looking for escape, and it's a very human thing. We all, when confronted with pain, and suffering, we look for an escape from said problem, which can make it worse because you don't solve the problem, And I've done that a lot in my life, like even even doing so-called healthy things can be an escape, like reading a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or working hard at your goal can also be so. Like, this is the dilemma of life.
Yeah, but
your escapes, and I probably deployed the less helpful strategies at sometimes than others.
Yeah, and I think that is something that you can also put into this personality trait, conscientiousness, because that gives you a different repertoire when you're handling pain.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not like you you go, it's easier, you go for drugs and alcohol, it's easier party way, it's like a different repertoire.
Yeah, I agree. And
because
it's more painful not to do that thing then.
Your personality doesn't say anything about how you're treated in life, right? It doesn't say anything about your traumas, or it doesn't say anything about that, but it can say something about how you handle it.
Yeah, but if you look at the questions that were asked for this test, it's a lot of it is how you deal with the situation.
Yes.
So it is. I think you can definitely change someone's personality in a quite.
Yeah, but I just try to lift it a little, higher up from just this test, because this test is It's not like super accurate and it's simple and etc. But what I'm aiming is that if you have a perfect childhood,
Okay.
both parents are seeing your true self, are nurturing you, give you love, give you everything, give you all the space and room to be your true self. If you're born with love consciousness, right? Or you are low on consciousness in your personality, because that is not anything with your traumas to do, then you maybe, operate with that you're more joyful, or you're more easygoing, you're more spontaneous.
Yeah,
You
probably enjoy
well,
life more
yeah,
with a low
and
lower score.
but if you shall handle traumas, you will do it differently, depend on your level of conscientiousness, right? And I think that's where we differ in the way we have handled our traumas. Because I'm also heavy traumatized, as you know, and you have been handling them with escapes, right?
Yeah, yeah, obviously. That think, but that's the way everybody handles it.
Yeah,
It's just what kind of escape.
yeah.
Um,
But you have done a lot of escape into things that's you know have been nourishing you also. It's because you
this is
love to read, you love to gather information, you
Sure.
love to engage in discussions. So it's like it's broadened your mind in many ways.
Indeed, and so this is the luck of the draw in life. I think is that. Um, I mean, as long as you're not too traumatized, which some are, like you're floating above water, so to speak. Then it's to pick the or to have the strategies in life that are not too harmful, basically.
Yes.
So you can derive some benefits from the escapes you do, whether it's working out or reading or like we even say that these things are kind of useful
Yes.
in society.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you work out too much, you die. So you
Yeah.
can overdo anything. You
Of
get
course.
destroyed by anything.
Of course. And if you are really, going with your impulses, your
Too
high
much.
openness, you may be super creative, and
So this is the trick, the balance of life.
and
It's
you
like,
create big art.
yeah, probably if you are like scoring 100 in conscientiousness, you're probably never going to be a great painter. There's some
No.
lack of spontaneity, and you're going to paint the same picture every time.
I don't think you're gonna have many friends either.
Nah, you probably
Depends on your goals
and there we are. Like
and
so
your values.
so where's the pleasure? Is it made after? That's the question. The deep one is actually what I say I enjoy and get happy from.
So
Is it
if you're
something I make up after the fact?
if you're a tyrant, as I am, unfortunately, um, is it possible to be a tyrant and love in conscientiousness?
Well, I think you're gonna have a hard time pulling it off, maybe because
Or then you may be super mean, because then you're doing all I don't know, because if you have a really plan and are a tyrant, that could be a bad plan, but it can also be a good plan. And if it's a good plan, it's maybe maybe you do good. Do you?
I mean, you can maybe lazy tyrants are the way because
Yes.
they well makes sense.
Yes.
You just threaten other people to do the work.
Yes.
You don't have to do it yourself. It's pretty good.
Oh yes. Okay.
It's a hard thing to say. But the goals, and I think that's maybe been the difference between the like a easy visible difference between me and you is that. Um, your goals has been more tangible. Like you can see the result more easily.
Very much so, and it's a bit more, mainstream and accepted
Uh-huh.
culturally.
Indeed.
Because I I work, I create business, I make money,
Sure.
I build things, and that's like okay.
But on the other hand, you are in quite a rare position where you enjoy your work. And I think that
I
goes
do.
for most people don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's my blessing. That
The vast majority of people, they have a job they do to get money to do other things.
yes,
It's not something they do because they like it too much, or if they had the choice of saying, "Here you have the money and you don't have to do it," they would probably accept and say, "Thank you.
yeah.
I like Nav."
No, no. For me, it's like I like to work, and I see meaning in it, and I feel the freedom that I can choose to work, and I can choose not to work, and I choose to work.
Mhm.
And I also have the freedom to, put out my calendar and spend time as I want, which I think is the ultimate freedom, actually.
Well, there you come to the most important thing, because if you say you have no time left, then what does freedom matter, right?
Right.
Then you're into religious. You got to believe in other things. So I think, in my opinion, I've done a lot of silly things in my life, and I got like a, if you look at my score, I'm 54%. So meaning I can work hard, but I don't have to. If I don't see the point of it, or it's not important to me, I don't have to. I don't have the compulsion to do it. So I'm like in the middle there, kind of like the average person.
Yeah,
So
but it's something that I'm always, very curious about, and because it shows a tremendous strength that you can, manage your life with not many resources, not much money, don't big house, like. But it also, in a way, I can see it as an escape, because when you don't have, then you also can, postpone a lot of things because you don't feel the urge to do it, or you suppress it, or I don't. I'm very curious on that because
sure, I mean, it becomes like anything. It changes and has its price, of
yes,
course. But I think quite early on, I pretty much decided that to to s- to like spend my life doing things I don't particularly enjoy, to get a lot of resources, seemed to me to be meaningless, in a way that then you spent all your time. It's like it doesn't make any sense to me in some ways. Of course, if you have to do work to get food, makes sense. But
yeah,
if you have the opportunity and the privilege to say learn something important from a great book, I would say that's much more valuable to me.
yeah, I
So,
buy
so this
into
is
that.
this is the
But you have
difference.
the other thing also that you are escaping in,
Yeah, but there is
because
always the element of escape.
if you're reducing your needs and you live in a modern society, and you always have been taken care of a little, you have always, either me or your mother has been helping you with a place to live,
Yeah, it
or you
wasn't like
had
I'm starving.
no, you're not starving, and you always got some girlfriends if necessary to shelter you and take care of you.
Yes, so not starving.
No, not starving.
No, that's
And
important.
yes,
Uh,
getting,
but this is the like
But
Like
from your
how,
girlfriend,
like
have
how
you
the
got
monks live, right?
have you got love or have you got loyalty?
That's a good question.
Yes,
You aim for both.
yes,
I hope.
yes.
So you go for the grand slam.
Yeah, but you in your
loyalty.
history, I mean, you're
Well,
still
that's a different kind of thing that
still
which is
uh,
also comes into conscientiousness, and I think we differ a lot, and that's being faithful
yes,
to your girlfriend, your
yes,
woman,
yes,
because that's conscientiousness saying
yes,
I'm not gonna go there,
yes,
even if I can. So
yes,
this is why conscientiousness is a very broad thing,
yes.
and I don't know if I learned it or it's my personality, but I've always been loyal to my girlfriends.
Yeah, me too. Also, like serial loyal. I mean,
Serial loyal. Yeah, yeah, of course, but to postpone gratification, basically, that's a one part of it. If you can, you don't. That's a different thing. So I
yeah,
think that buys you a lot of loyalty,
it does. It
and
does.
that's a
I
personality.
never had any, big urge to cheat. It happens sometimes, but not like as a system or as as a like a concept or something I did regularly.
No,
I think for your mother, I didn't cheat on her at all.
I think if you ask her how you guys broke up,
Yeah, at
that
the
was
end.
why.
At the end,
At
yes.
the end, but at the end counts too.
Yeah, yeah. But then it was like
It
it was a bad. It was a way to
over.
break up. Yes,
Yeah, and that's like
but it was a bad. Of course,
valid
I
point
don't.
way to
I
break
try
up.
to paint it in pastel here, but
Yeah,
it's of course I. That's on me. I
that's on me.
was cheating on her. Yes.
Yeah, and it's I mean, there's ways to do things, but my point is that it comes. I think that's also comes into play with conscientiousness,
Yes.
and probably if you're really low, you probably inclined to be unfaithful
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
because you follow the impulse.
Yes. And the sexual impulses can be super strong.
Yeah, it's like eating food.
Mhm.
There's some primal need that goes with it. That give it to me. I need it.
Yes.
So this but the like the we're gonna get through this hopefully. But the interesting thing with father and son is the son many times sees some things in the father to say I like to be like that. I like
Yes.
to emulate.
Yes.
And see other things say I don't want to do that.
No.
I want to avoid doing those things.
Yes.
And that's usually that's where it differs.
Yes.
So some things I've seen in you say, oh, that I like.
Yes.
I like to learn how to do those things.
Yes.
And other things have been like, oh, don't want to do that, even if it's in my personality.
Yeah.
To like to do it.
Yeah. In the
I will
reach, you can
fight
reach
against
it.
it.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's basically evolution in my book. It's like
Yeah.
how we
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
try
Yeah.
to improve.
Yep.
From generation to generation. We say like, okay.
But the interesting
the
thing
mix.
is that if you want to emulate and do something I do and you don't do it, that's something we can work on here. And on the opposite, that I can, learn.
Sure, those things can be hard to do, especially if it's against your personality,
Yes.
because that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
A lot of if it's hard, it's probably that's why it's not in your nature so much.
It can also be hard because it's buried under a lot of traumas, so it's painful.
Yeah,
But you can pull it off, but it's painful because it confronts you with your story about yourself, or it disturbs something, and or it's buried in your unconsciousness, so it stops you even if you try to do it.
mm-hmm.
And that's also a very exciting thing is to make unconscious, effects of traumas more conscious, and then we can, when you bring it up in the air, it changes its power.
Sure, I agree. And
Uh,
it's
it diminishes.
try to see what's a survival tactic or a mechanism, because I think many of things I've done has been started as like how to cope, how to
Yes.
survive,
Yes, and not
and
maybe being very functional.
no, but the prime goal has been survive,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
And you're sitting
not for
here,
long term
so
health
yeah,
so
no,
so much.
you're sitting here.
And I mean, to be honest, it was sometimes there it was pretty bleak. I never, I mean, like I never did all the necessary steps. Like if you check someone if they're really suicidal or not. Like
Yes,
I never had the like when you start to plan a date and how we're gonna do it and such. It's just like then you're
you never had
committed.
that.
But I never had. But I had the first impulse, like maybe it's better not to live.
Okay, yes.
But I think
Yeah, when you were
when
in your
things are
real
too
dark
bad,
periods.
yeah, of course. But that was more like now I'm in such
When did you have
pain.
your first dark period?
Oh, that's a good question. Mm, so I think I would say the darkest probably was like in my early 30s or something.
Yeah, because you had one period when you were in Budapest, like 2 years without doing anything.
Yeah, but that wasn't that dark.
No, because
That
then
was
you had a
fairly.
girlfriend and you have a flat and you were.
Yeah, I would never say I've been like super low. Like, not, I've been I've been depressed, but not like
I
in a
guess
way
you were
that
depressed that period also because you failed to your exam and then you didn't
Yeah,
prove.
it was more like what to do in this world, kind of depression, like how, what to do in many ways.
Yeah, but you were pretending doing something and you didn't.
Yeah, all those kind of things.
Yes.
Um, of course, that's not gonna make you too happy. It didn't
No,
make me
because
too happy.
if you're strong, you say, okay, I don't do this, I don't like this, I move forward. But from the outside, you were saying, okay, I continue studying. I try to, take this exam I failed on, retake it, and that went out for almost 2 years,
Yeah, it was 1 year, and then I
and you
did it the
didn't
next.
do anything.
Well, I
That's
didn't do
interesting.
that.
No, you of course you survived and you
I did do
ate,
things,
and
but
but
yeah.
you never told any, how was it to be John in that
But
period?
that's the thing I learned in my life, and unfortunately, is that whenever I share such things, it doesn't make it better; it makes it worse. So I learned to shut the fuck up and
Yeah,
say, "Okay,
yeah,
I'll
because you
not do
don't
that."
have people you trusted, or
Yeah, and when I did, it made it worse in my formative experience.
for
That
you.
kind of yeah. There was no
Yeah, like
didn't help.
you have been sharing with me or your mother or
That's
others that's
probably where it
closer.
started. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, when you were younger.
So it wasn't giving me any help in a way. So I learned just to
But
handle it internally.
but have that helped you?
Well, in the end, I'm quite proficient at handling things internally with myself. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could
but
say
that comes
that's
with the,
had a price,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course,
The
and it
advantage is that you're strong and
could have
you're
had a,
sane and you're balanced in a way and you have a very, you're very strong because you can handle a lot of things.
mhm.
But the negative part of it is that you can postpone everything. You don't need to do things. You can, eat up things that happens that you don't really like without doing something with it.
Yeah, that's a
So you can
price. So you,
sit with it.
mhm, mhm.
So So you can sit with the negatives and the positives and sit over, right?
Well, I mean, the that's the danger, and the important part there is to be able to forgive and let go,
Yeah.
because if not, it can
At the
eat
end,
you up.
yeah, at the end of the day, it's about forgiving yourself.
Yeah, and others, and say, okay, that happened, and what can I learn, and move on.
Yeah,
Because if
and
not,
diffuse the pain.
and this is
From
the reason why we are sitting here, for
Yes,
example,
yes, that's we try to.
because that's the things
Not through love, through loyalty.
through
That we are
loyalty.
loyal to this project, right?
Yeah, I think we've been quite motivated and diligent, and we find it important.
Yes.
Um, but to end this conscientiousness thing, is that I think it kind of boils down to be able to do the things you don't find important,
Yes.
and that's the thing. Because if it's important to you,
You do
you're
it.
probably gonna do it.
You
If you
motivate
like it and
Yeah, you
important,
motivate. Yeah. Then
it's not difficult.
no. But that's not always true either. Take training, for instance.
But there we go, and this is maybe the key part, in which maybe where I have a lot to learn, and that is when doing hard things that is not enjoyable. The result can be quite enjoyable,
Yes, always.
and to couple the result
Yes.
with the process,
Yes, and then give the process.
then you get enjoyment from starting the process.
Yes.
And this is the
Then you go to a positive feedback loop.
And this is the problem, and with social media today, for example, is that there you have and games, video games, and all this stuff gives you an immediate reward.
Yeah, it's the dopamine hits.
Yeah, not necessarily just dopamine, but there's some needs that are met.
Yeah,
Maybe not completely, but somewhat met. You get a little bit of it, but you get trained to expect action result immediately.
Yeah.
So the time between doing the hard work and getting the reward are so in other
But
tasks.
is that something that governs your life?
Well, I'm like this score is pretty accurate. I'm on the middle. I can, if I find it important and do it, I can like get up and do it every day. I don't have an issue with, like, if I find it somewhat important to be diligent.
Yes,
and-
but
and
if
do
it's
pleasant
something
things.
that is important, but you, to put, I think to phrase it differently, if it's something it's good for you,
Mhm.
but it's hard or it's not like pleasant, uh, you're not. Are you able to do it, or set from the outside? I see that, for instance, that you have you're very well built. You have a very good, physics. You're naturally strong,
Mhm.
but you don't train much.
No, not too much. Just
Not
what I need.
very little. That's something we can
Just what I
question.
need.
We can go. No, this is very interesting because this is touching on
Well, I've
the
done a lot of
core.
sports
Yeah,
training.
you don't need to defend yourself.
No, I'm
I'm
just
not after you. I'm just saying that you this is like the tyrant going after.
Mhm.
This is classical me going after you,
Sure.
right?
Yeah, the accusations fly. Let's
Right,
go.
yes. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I try to do it differently, okay?
Okay.
It's like I love you, and I really have some experience in my life in how to take care of your body and how that can give you strength to also deal with your traumas and soften you up
Mhm.
and be able to understand people better and also yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I would, nothing would be more, what shall you say, giving for me, or that you would start doing that. And maybe together with me in a
Mm-hmm.
more extent. We enjoy doing skiing together.
Sure.
There you are a champion. You're 10 times better than me. I'm there, a couple of seconds behind, but I don't have it. You have it.
Yeah. Done it a lot.
Yeah, but you have it.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah,
some talent.
we know we skiers. We can say, okay, those guys
Some I
have
know.
it. Okay, they're good, but they're not good.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, everything is compared to what, right? I mean, compared to most skiers, I'm a good skier, but
Yeah, yeah,
compared
yeah.
to
Of
those that
course.
have it, I'm amateur.
There's levels
Yes.
to most things. No, no, I've been blessed with physical talent with
Yeah,
most
but
sports.
I think that's my pain, or I never knew how to handle it. And I hope I can learn now to be a friend and to be, with together or something, that not like criticizing, but you have all these talents,
Mm-hmm.
both when it comes to your body and your mind,
Mm-hmm.
that it looks from the outside that you don't utilize, not for like achieving that you're not good enough, but there is some. And I also, for me, it looks like it bothers you that you don't utilize this. It's not like you're happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it looks for me.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And well, when it comes to the physical part, then I think it's easy. The better shape, the better state of mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Quite
yeah.
simply put.
And I always think that it's you should always, whatever you work with, start with the body. For fuck you,
Yeah,
it's the most important thing. Everything, your fucking brain and your
that's a.
soul, whatever you believe in, it's in your body. You are incarnation.
Of course, you need that.
Yes.
But when it comes to the mental, it's like I spent many years learning, trying to learn things, not willing, not having the will to say now I should write a book or mean things, to say things. This is what I mean, because I didn't think I had the foundation.
No, it
Like
also
the
comes back to your self-esteem, right?
yes, yes.
Maybe
But
you
now
felt you
like
weren't good enough.
sure, but now we're like for example doing what we do now, which
Yeah.
is very much you expressing what you think,
Mhm.
what I think.
Yeah.
Um, and I had done some work like that too. But I find it very disturbing when people do it when they're too young and don't know anything, and then you're suddenly gonna sit there like, and I'm an expert. I always found that very disturbing. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to look like a fool. Like here I know, here I am. I'm
No, but no,
22
you're a
and tell you
grown-up
the
guy.
world.
You're a grown-up guy.
Exactly.
You're past your 40s, and you have something to say, which is of great importance.
So I think
And
this is a start there, doing the more. This is what I mean. This
yeah,
is what I think.
you can embrace your journey and your story. It's given you some valuables. It given you some insights that not many people have. But and
And
also the blessing is that there is so much things that you don't do that you can do that will help you.
mhm,
That's like low hanging, as we taught about, like body work, and you have it. You are like in the pole position.
mhm,
It's just pulling it off.
mhm.
It's not like you come with too much weight, or you are like out of air, or no more muscle. It's you are in your prime in a way, and then that's. I'm really exciting, John, to see.
Yeah, that's good. I'm a hopeful optimist there.
Yes.
When it comes to your excitement.
Yes.
But
And
but I think we spend some time doing this now, and um, in a way, I think we went from being kind of strangers in many ways.
yeah.
Like you just have to rely on your old memories of such, like who the other person is, because
And fixed narratives.
yeah, because that's just history. You
Yes.
just, this is the person.
Yes.
It's what they did 10, 20 years ago,
Yes.
which is not necessarily who you are today.
No.
And that goes both ways.
Yes.
And that's the the exciting part of this. And maybe it goes to shit. We'll see. It's a risk.
Yeah, there is a
It's a
risk.
But I think what is in the fundamentally way, I think we both kind of actually like each other in a way of personality. And
Yeah, I
we
love
enjoy that
I
part.
love to hang out with you, especially in a setting like this. It's of course a little dangerous and painful because we're touching of things that's especially for me, all my mistakes and all my feeling of shame and guilt are there all the time.
Yeah, no, the lost son isn't innocent either.
No,
That's
no,
the
he
point.
has his tricks.
And the hope here is maybe that the tyrant can become a benevolent king, and the lost son can come home, right?
Yeah, and become the prince.
Yeah, that's a
But,
worthy quest.
Yeah, and that's a good ending note. And I just to throw off my birthday. I had a party with some old friends, and some of them were like, "Oh, Eric, you become such a nice person, and you're like more empathic, and you have grown such your personality, blah blah blah."
Mhm.
And then I don't name names here. One of my oldest friends is 10 years older than me. And say, come on, guys, fuck up, shut up. It's only his hormones. He's low on testosterone. Don't give him any credit.
No credit.
Him prick. Come on, do this fucking praising. I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
He's
you got
just
the point.
getting older.
Yeah, well,
so
combination.
yeah, so maybe the mix of the the body chemistry mix are in favor of this, and maybe a little softer.
That might be true, but I think it's some, of course, hormones. But I think you have changed in some ways quite a lot.
I hope so.
I believe so.
Yes,
You are on time now.
yes. Prime time.
Prime time.
Yes.
So I think
Every day is prime time.
every day is a prime time, and that's
Yes.
a good lesson.
Yes.
And we'll end it today
Yes.
there, and the next time we'll do extroversion.
Yeah, that's a fun one. That's not like so hard like this.
That's easy.
Yes, easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not to give anything away, but we're not too low.
No. Okay.
Not too low.
Yeah. So see you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.